there must be a house that will take decision. That house must be comprised of people. So therefore, with what is happening today in state, you can determine in terms of majority what house of the assembly has majority. So but if we have to also end out of the crisis, we must determine very circumstantially whether there is actual possession. And because the matter is before the court, sometimes we may not be able to dive too well. But if we have to get out ourselves from this crisis, we must ask the purpose to rely on what the law has said. Now, we are also informed that by section 100 and subsection 4 of our Constitution, the law gives power to a well-constituted House of Assembly to veto the powers of the government. Now, how can that be done? The law says after transmission of a bill of the House of Assembly properly constituted, there must be transmitted that bill to the governor and 30 days must elapse. 30 days must elapse. And once 30 days have elapsed and the governor, for whatever reason, it may be good reason or bad reason, withholds this consent, the law gives permission to the House of Assembly by code to veto that bill. And once it is vetoed, it becomes law. Currently, in Rivers State, we have seen situations where the governor will not accept the bills that is passed by the Martin and Davies as a factor of the House of Assembly. There are plans to deal with the old government House of Assembly. Now, because the governor cannot also die in the hands of the 27 House of Assembly members, they have also used to vetoing all the laws that they have passed. So there are some kind of what we call fraud and that obviously is a crisis. Because the truth is that people who intend to come to Rivers State to invest are looking at the body language of the key players. And because we don't want to rely and stay within the confines of the law, then it is a very serious challenge for us. Finally, because of time, no person can, especially when it has to do with government, spend funds of the state, except some funds where properly some funds have been, appropriated and given consent by the House of Assembly, properly so also. So, gentlemen, you are well abreast of the activities within the states. You are well abreast of all the challenges and all the dramas that are taking place within the state. And I'm sure you are in a better position to look at it and then give an opinion. But the baseline is that your opinion, the question you should ask, does it fall in place with the provision of the Constitution or the law? If that answer is yes, then I'm sure you can close out the matter. But for now, we are continuing, we are suspended until all that is given. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Put your hands together for God, right here. That's not enough. Put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Please, employees, please jot down some of the things we'll be discussing already. That is additional entries as regards the Rivers State political crisis. This will also jot them down because very soon after now we'll have a discussion session, question and answer session, so that you can do out and ask your questions. Moving on to the next panelist to present. I'll call on my colleague, in favor of myself, he's a broadcast journalist in Atlantic Television as well, to introduce the next panelist. Please put your hands together for favor.
River State, and in the roads, and international law university of law school, Council of Legal Education, Abuja 2011, 2007 and the University of Lagos 2006, and yes, 22 science and public administration, University of Lagos 2004, and the National Legal Advice Officer for the first human rights, CDHR, is in the past National Policy Secretary of CDHR, is also the owner of Human Rights Volunteers Initiative, and is a member of the Association, a member of the Committee on First Human Rights, a member of Human Rights Volunteers Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome Mr. Henry into the podium.
All right, this one, I think what I have an issue as political crisis in universities. What I think my view is to propose solutions to the crisis. And I think in a forum like this, if we want to express our respective positions with respect to the various issues, we will have 10 hours for that. So, but again, I believe that everybody who has come together to probably also get informed one way or the other. And it's in that regard that I will take out a few issues and make my contributions. How this problem, this crisis starts. So I asked the question, rhetorical question, how it all starts. We are all here, we are regards residents, and then of course, most of us individuals too. We had an election in 2023, and then all 32 members of the University of Assembly were elected on a single platform, including the government. So to us, we expected a seamless administration. For some time in October, it is not news to all of us that crisis erupted in the legislature. I am particular and definite about that. Crisis of our university, in my view, is more of crisis in the legislature. It is in the University House of Assembly that our crisis. Crisis was to who are members and who is the speaker and other issues around the leadership of the University House of Assembly. At the time of that crisis, the executive was immediately after the elections, when the other candidates were political parties and other social parties. So, whatever is the cause of this crisis has remained unraveled by every one of us, including analysts. I think we have left that question going. What's the cause? When and how it started, we know that sometime in October the crisis erupted, and then it has gone on until now. We haven't been able to resolve that. What could be possible causes, as I said, could only be imaginable. For me, what I perceive could be some causes within the legislature and some outside the legislature. Within the legislature, with respect to who is and who controls the University of Assembly. Outside the legislature could be power influence by probably some leaders and presidents who they are really do not know, and then to exercise and exert those powers and influence on the members of the University of Assembly. Now, but some constitutional issues are very important for us to raise here too. Since we have identified that it is in the legislation of the University of Assembly, I think for me, I've identified that we need to understand the composition of the House of Assembly. Section 92 of the Constitution of the University of Federal Republic of Nigeria established a House of Assembly for each of the 36 states of the Federation. And there is no other. The composition is that a minimum of 24, it's actually 24, should constitute a House of Assembly across the country. But you know what is important to state here? That the chapters of our Constitution, we are sure that there are many circumstances that are not going to place. These are critical issues that those of us who are watching from the sidelines must understand. Don't think that it's impossible or it's something too strange that an entire House of Assembly may lose all the members. It is also possible that one person alone may be in the House of Assembly. It is also possible that two women. So what did the drafters do? What they did was to provide our Constitution and in the event that there are other positions arising from either death, resignation, accepting appointment, or moving from the political party as sponsor to another. There are these four constitutional circumstances that you can apply to all these things. So the question we should ask ourselves, so that we answer here, ask yourself an answer. Which of these has actually happened in the United States? It is your question. But I do know that we have had a death where we lost a member as well as a vacant by the position of the Constitution. We have had a resignation in the Universal Assembly. Someone resigns and pay some official executive now. You have had agreements, contracts, where some persons badly impacted on the house because we decided shortly. But to some, we are convinced that their actions were actions of defection, which they clearly pronounced themselves. So that's the circumstance. So when we leave those arguments for about 10 hours, we will be here and we will leave here. But what I should ask, I'm raising a lot of this conversation, but I think in my view, I'm addressing the question of quorum. What is the quorum of a house of assembly? In our constitution, what criteria is saying? Of all the members of the house of assembly, then you will go back to ask yourself, is it that quorum of the seats? Please, as a constitutional scholar, there's a difference between the seats and the members of the house of assembly. Why the legislature? If you argue on the basis of the seats, then you will always be looking at the results of that two in the United House of Assembly. But if you argue on the basis of the members, which is what your shop says, then you will ask the following question: who are the remaining members of the United House of Assembly? Do we bring in them in Canada or do we bring anybody who has resigned? So for me, I will leave that question. I wouldn't leave my audience confused in the position that at all times you can determine the quorum of a legislative house by determining the members of that house, not the seats. So if arguably, if at the moment you are within the school of thought in the university that say that the legislative members are 4, then it means that your quorum of 1/3 of the thought is of 4. If you say it's 31, you have of 31. Don't ask me which one is mine. Then I thought about the conditions or circumstances of those states. We have mentioned death, resignation, accepting an executive appointment as a legislator, or when you defect. Then one thing that is important to address again is one time you took it up. It is different from, you see, when you do an analogy or you make illustrations, please, you do comparison to the context. Okay? The fundamental rights we flow of association, which means that I can freely enter, is guaranteed that I can freely leave. You don't give me conditions to leave. Otherwise, I'm speaking of my rights to it. And it is a global thing. It is under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and all human instruments. And even decided cases both in Nigeria and elsewhere in the world with two comparative analysis. I can have the Committee on the Defense of Human Rights today. The primary condition is that you have a conviction to defend the rights of citizens. You are qualified. Then there will be certain requirements for taking a form of signature, free and return for your data and your details. And some subscription to maintain your membership. And of course, perhaps attending meetings. But you know what? The day you stop to attend the meetings of the CHR, the day you stop to pay your subscriptions, the day you stop to even just attend by yourself, you have ceased to be a member. What we do regularly is to even update our member records. At the moment, we are doing even a national audit of the register of members of the Committee on the Defense of Human Rights. But the argument has been, do I have to now take a formal right letter? There is no law. I don't want to say ask, there is no law that requires anybody to do a formal designation. It's not the politicians that usually will write to the chairman of the political party. There is no requirement even in their constitution, except the one under that, or in the Nigerian constitution, or in the electoral act. So having said that, well, we will have the argument also going on whether there was defection and whether the commission ought to have been perfected for that defection to be final. I think I conclude by saying that in all of this, I prefer a solution. Like I said, the crisis is already here. The effect of defection or non-defection is already here. The effect of this crisis on governance and development in the United States is already here. How to seize the member have stated, what are the solutions? It's purely legal. who is going to be angry. It doesn't matter who is going to be offended. But the law should be the law. And if law has been espoused in this country, the Constitution is excellent, it is self-explanatory, self-enforcing. Decisions of the Supreme Court has now explained what defection is, explain what split means, explain what division means. It is left for us to either agree with the decision of the Supreme Court or continue to argue and reverse it. So my solution to one is obedience to the rule of law. Let us begin to uphold the rule of law and allow the law to prevail. Politicians and political parties should inculcate democratic principles and tenets. Now, what is democracy? It's not about political election. It's about upholding the tenets of democracy. It includes the rule of law, includes respect for human rights, includes, of course, allowing citizens the opportunity to participate in determining their rights and morality. Thank you very much.
As a human being, when you don't show gratefulness, because
privilege here. The governor of Rivers State has been given an opportunity, a lifetime opportunity. In fact, a generational opportunity that so many people seek for but could not have. That tomorrow his children will say, my father was once the governor of Rivers State. And God used somebody to ensure that you emerge. And having emerged, people that fought against you, people that swore, I'm a stakeholder in PDP. I'm very much abreast with most of the development. When I'm talking about the public stories, inside house stories, and I can tell you about it. So if such people come out and are trying to instigate and say no, fight social person, you should be able to look at the relationship that has been between you and this person and the sacrifices this person has made for you to be where you are today. To ensure that, yes, this thing you are saying that today people are coming, walking around you and saying, maybe they were not there before that time. But keep that aside. I want to go, because of the time, I want to go straight to one of the solutions. I think most of our Rivers elders, most of our Rivers politicians, and most of our Rivers people should try and reduce the discussion of this crisis in the public space. Because you see some people who go to a team against the governor, other group against the former governor. By the time we reduce issues, I don't like mising or petting issues. Say it straight and let the people hear it and know that this is the truth. So by the time they reduce the tension at the media level, and the elders go behind the scenes and talk to both sides to share their sword and ensure that the party, the two parties that are involved, come together to sit and agree on a position to work it out. Because these are politicians. And whatever happens, the state suffers. Yes, I agree. And in as much as I agree that we should obey law, in as much as I agree that the law should take its course, I also want to believe that we can also resolve issues without the courts. Before now, elders sit in the village and discuss issues and agree on issues and settle problems. So we shouldn't only look at the aspect of the law, going to court at every instance with this issue we have on ground. But in this very issue, as regards university, we have already gone far regarding the court aspect. And as a believer in a peaceful Rivers State, we want to urge every party to ensure that they allow the legal process to see the day of the light of the day. So everybody at that point will have his position. If the law says this, you know that this is what the law says and you abide by it. Because today, if you speak, some people tell you are from this. If you speak, some people say this. Meanwhile, this opinion you are offering to them and decide that most likely is what is the true position of what we are expressing today in Rivers State. So my position is that we need to play down the issue on the media, most especially the elders going to speak against each other, bringing faction among themselves and speaking against each other. And secondly, I still want to emphasize those that people have made sacrifice for should learn how to be grateful. Thank you very much.
Promise we as fast as we can to make sure that we meet up with order of our schedule. Last that, I would like to bring up the next panelist to speak on the same issues we talked about, and that is a clinic of power inspire. Please put your hands together for him as we
Other than the organizers of this program for giving me so much opportunity to address the issues that we have in the states. We have an issue in the states, and that's a political issue that might affect the House of Assembly, the independent always argue that our provision of the Constitution is not automatic. And the constitutional right is something called so anticipate every provision of the Constitution, bearing in mind that every provision of the Constitution must be read in context. The first time we had that kind of Constitution was in 1979. If you take a look at Section 64 and Section 103 of the 1979 Constitution, you're going to see the application of Section 197.1G of the 1999 Constitution. But you know what's else in the 1979 Constitution? There's also Section 2 that empowers the Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Rep, and the Speaker of the State of the House of Assembly to activate Section 197.1G. What does that tell you? That Section 197.1G is not automatic. And that is why, take a look at subsection 2. It says that Section 197.1G can only be operational when the Speaker or a member of the House of Assembly presents evidence satisfactory to the House that that provision has now become applicable to that member. In exercising the power to replace the Speaker in that provision exercises a massive judicial power, and that is the power to take evidence acting as a judge and also be the Speaker of the House of Assembly. You can't look at the provisions of that section and say it's automatic. In any case, it is an age of reflection. And if you take a look at the current court cases in various states, there's a judgment of the Court of Appeal delivered on the 13th of December 2024. And the 74 of that judgment, the Court of Appeal found that the members, which is the Speaker and the members who allegedly defected, are still members of the University House of Assembly and empowered by the Constitution to transact the business of the University House of Assembly. Whenever I get close to the confession, I say one thing. Do we have a misinterpretation of Section 6 of the Constitution, which says that the courts are created for people to come and ventilate their grievances? In ventilation of their grievances, you have to present evidence satisfactory, depending on whether it's a criminal or civil matter. In a civil matter, the balance of probability. In a criminal matter, or beyond reasonable doubt. If you do not present your evidence before the court will not give you judgment. Let me say something, and this is without with deference to the lawyers and people of these cases. It's about what we shouldn't do. It's that we shouldn't go to court, make a different presentation, and come to the public and make a different presentation. And this is because the issues in various states are two dimensions. One is the legal dimension, one is the propaganda dimension. We know as lawyers what is the legal dimension. We also know what is the propaganda dimension. Essential of the political parties seem to drive on the propaganda dimension, which is just go to the public because everybody is not a lawyer, just say whatever you want to say. And in propaganda, you know, the person who teaches out that first information will always have a first mover advantage. Because when people hear you, the other person will now be trying all his effort to make sure that he posts that propaganda. But you see, if we talk about the issues of the law, we must interpret the provisions of the Constitution without emotion and sentiment. I have said that we have a finding entrusted to a defection back of the Court of Appeal, saying that there was also a defection, and the Speaker and the members who allegedly defended are still members of the University House of Assembly. The solution is very simple. The problem that we have in Nigeria is that we stop the law. The problem that we have in Nigeria is that political actors do not want to obey the law. We have a situation where political actors feel that they are above the law. If we continue to have that kind of tragedy, people will continue to obey the Constitution that you and I are doing. Because the preamble of the Constitution says, we, the people of Nigeria. So I will say that politics is also a question of who gets what, when, and how. And I want to take a look at the political situation we have in River State. We must not immune them from people's struggle for power. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing stopping those who are able to ascend to the position of presidency of government, presidency of Nigeria, or governor of River State. The gospel should do that within the limits of the law. If the gospel does that within the limits of the law, please do not bring sentiment and tell me that this person is still here. Let us allow him to stay for 2 weeks. Let us allow him to stay for 4 weeks. Let us allow him to stay for 8 years. For Christ's sake, I am a politician. And what I am here to do is that I will drive my political party to make sure that we find out seats. And so the person who is there also have a responsibility to make sure that he goes in accordance with the law so that he will stay there. excellent to comply with the provisions of the law. I want to take advantage of the opportunity to speak on this issue. Thank you. My name is.
My name is Dr. I'm a lecturer at the University of Port. I'm a businessman, a consultant, former chairman of the board. I'm one of the commissioners that resigned from the present government because of this crisis that we're talking about. And I want to say that I'm happy to be in your midst to share my thoughts. Perhaps it will help us to understand what is going on and how we can, get along and survive in the midst of the crisis. Now, I want to say that the problem we have in River State today is not purely a political issue. It is a cultural issue domiciled in politics. It is a cultural issue domiciled in politics. Now, let's take our minds back to 1999. Sir Dr. Peter Odili becomes governor of River State in 1999. Before then, Peter Odili was deputy to Sir Rufus Adajorge. He was Adajorge's deputy. When Odili became governor, we never saw him sit on a table with Adajorge. They became enemies. So many things happened, and I'm sure that those of us who were here then know some of the things that happened. As governor, Chimikero Tugamechi was Peter Odili's first son, politically speaking. And Odili wished that Amechi succeeded him as governor. 2007, let's not talk about Omeya. Amechi became governor. And Amechi will not sit on the same table with Odili. Fact. I don't know if they have started sitting now. Amechi became governor. His best man was Nelson Wiki. It was his director of campaign. It was his chief of staff. In fact, Wike's appointment problem domiciled in what? Politics. Period. You know, we are told by history that we don't learn from history. And we are also told that people who don't learn from their history are bound to repeat it. Now, why do we have that kind of situation in River State? In my opinion, I think it is because as Rivers people, we have not decided what kind of state we want to be. Maybe we are comfortable with being called Rivers of Crisis. Maybe we are comfortable with playing second fiddle to Lagos State. Maybe we are comfortable with insecurity and all the other things that challenge us. Otherwise, we should be able to sit down as a people just the way we are now and agree on what River State we want to have and how we are going to have it, including what kind of leadership we need, and so on. spoke about the issue of ingratitude. I don't want to bother with that. Because some of those things for me, they are human nature. If there was nothing called ingratitude before now, we won't be talking about it. Fubara is not the origin of ingratitude. You see, human beings have been doing it before now. It is bad, but if there is a clear purpose, if we know where we are going, then we will not allow ingratitude to stop us from getting there. There are so many other issues driving what you see. There is lack of honor. Somebody talked about the fact that politicians in Nigeria lack honor. He didn't let me put it in that form, but I want to say now that politicians in Nigeria lack honor. I read a book several years ago by the man they called Jeffrey Archer, who talked about honor among thieves. There should be honor even among thieves. But we're talking about honorable people. We're talking about excellencies. We're talking about distinguished people. We're talking about people of title and honor in our society. But they lack honor. And what is honor? If I have an agreement with you, you should honor that agreement. That's what Socrates is famous for. Socrates died. In fact, he killed himself to maintain his honor. What we do in this part of the world is that somebody will go into an agreement. It doesn't matter whether the agreement is right or wrong, and that's another matter for another day. Once you go into an agreement, your hands were not tied when you are going into an agreement. There was no gun put to your head, and you agreed that if I do this for you, you will do this for me. When the time comes, honor it. That's what makes you a man. But people will come and start bringing up issues, law. I don't want to bother about law. What is happening in the law court is as a result of the crisis. If there was no crisis, we won't be in court. So why should I be talking about law? The lawyers will sort themselves out. The judges will tell us who is right and who is wrong at the end of the day. And for me, it doesn't matter. But what is my concern is that River State has taken a serious hit as a result of this crisis. Businesses, I'm a Rivers person. You go outside there, you introduce yourself as a Rivers man, and all that they are seeing is crisis all over you. The kind of shame that I feel when I introduce myself as a member of ASU, and people think that ASU is all about strike. Business people can't do their businesses in River State anymore. We can't attract investors. The report was out there last year that River State didn't attract one foreign direct investment. One. We didn't get. But we have billboards all over the places telling people to come and invest in River State. How will get on when we have on ourselves created the kind of crisis that we have on our hands? So, in a nutshell, I want to say that as Rivers people, we brought this crisis on ourselves. And the only way out, the beginning of the way out of this crisis is to speak the truth. Not minding whose ox is God. Speak the truth. Listen, when you talk about honor, and I want to share with you why I had to leave Fubara's government. It was purely on honor. I don't know about that people. I'm from Obia local government, where the former governor is the leader of the party. He presided over the meeting where I was nominated to be a commissioner to represent the people of my local government in the cabinet. And then crisis started. for you to get into the chambers and greet your colleague, commissioner, or any other member of the executive council. It was difficult. So you go to the chambers, you stretch your hand to greet a colleague, and he wouldn't greet you. At that point, I felt that I was in the wrong place. And that is why I wrote in my resignation letter 2 things: toxic environment and arbitrariness on the part of government. How many of you know, and I stand to be challenged? Up till today, I don't know, maybe after I left, the governor has briefed members of the executive council what is going on. The governor never briefed us. He never told us one day, ladies and gentlemen, this is what problem we have, this is how I see it. Whether he's saying the truth or not, he never briefed us. And I used to tell my colleagues that I consider that an insult. I can't be a member of the River State Governing Executive Council, and there is crisis. The state is spending money. Every day we are running up and down, and I have not even been briefed. Am I so small as a member of council to be told what is going on? And that is part of the challenge, because we have many people in offices who think that somebody did them a favor by bringing them on. You are not doing me any favor. You called me to come and serve my state. It's work I'm going to do. If you don't want me to do the work, I work out. I have something that I'm doing. I'm busy. If I don't have anything to do, I take care of my family. But that's our situation. So many people lacking capacity, not having a clear idea of what they want to do, not knowing how they are supposed to contribute to the system, but they are in the system, and all that they do is gossip, talk here, do this, run all around the places, doing nothing. We are Rivers people. Have you seen any statement of vision of where our state is going? Is there any such statement? Is there any such document? Even what you call the budget, was it drawn from amongst us? Were we called to any place where the budget was discussed, and as Rivers people we made our input? Okay, now we're talking about reducing the state assembly to 3 people or 5 people. Is it those 3 people? Because where I come from has no representation in that 3 persons. So how was my interest and the interest of other people captured? And the same thing has affected so many of us. And some people are here or in other places trying to justify court matter or no court matter. Court matter is rubbish. Because we took ourselves to the court, and the courts will do with us whatever they like. So my position is that we should tell ourselves the truth, and I believe that we know the truth. If we fail to tell ourselves the truth, let's continue to live with the crisis. After now, it will be another set of people, and the crisis will continue. Thank you very much.
Dissect the issues enveloping our states. I'm not here to speak on moral ground, where the last speaker anchored his discourse. I will speak both moral and legal. When we first had this, I wanted to read something I penned down without any intention to deliberate. Principal stakeholders. Politics, they say, is a game of money workers. Literally, the phrase money workers pollutes an unhealthy environment, suitable only for peace. I do not personally think that this is an environment. I do not personally think that this is a universal understanding of what politics entails, but the 5th century generational mentality. While the Lord brought us to educate already known essence of our involvement in politics, we generally have to do with what my friend and brother, Lele friend, when they talk about politics. I will also state that those who seek and desire political relevance do so for services, generally thinking for the people. Bringing this back home, can we intentionally say that the political space, now only in the environment, is a reflection of these noble intentions? The answer lies in your mind, and I will not answer it for you. I am afraid to say as so that you will not agree with me, the obvious answer is far from reality. Why we venture for general good? It is now regrettable that our personal selfish interests are taking predominance over that of the general good. Democracy, their integrity, is never in virtue in politics, but possessing an unstable character without a moral background tends to be the selling point. Proponents of democracy envision a strict adherence to the rule of law, which presupposes, in contrast, in Nigeria, it means 1. Using instrumentality of the law, the circumvent the process of the law to his own personal interest, advantage, and benefit over far above that of the general people. With this, I think I've taken the field, I've covered the field as to what I'm discussing. But I will quickly answer 2 issues raised by 2 of the previous speakers. My friend Dr. Wayne talked about the sort of appeal decision. Now, let's not deceive ourselves. The truth is, no matter how intentional we are, we somehow sell a political bias. My friend has not told us the truth professionally, but to sell a political bias. Now, the Court of Appeal decision in November 2023, November 29, 2023, Martin Sarabeu and others sensing a disagreement in government between the legislature and the executive, filed a suit in Abuja, presented by my Lord Honorable Justice Amonisha. What were the claims? None in all those claims had to do with a defection, illegality, and all otherwise of their action that they took on December 11, 2023. So that suit predates their action, and therefore it would not have been contemplated by those who initiated that action to include that please God validate our actions that we took November 11. So the impression that we have here that the issue of defection has been decided by the court of law, it is not true. That has not been decided. He also made the allusion to the fact that Section 109 gave the Speaker quasi-judicial powers to, once he has performed that aspect, it becomes final. That is also a fallacy involved. That is not true. Section 109, subsection 2, yes, gave the Speaker the opportunity to declare a seat vacant. Now, what is the principal evidence that a member has defected? The proceedings of the House, the Constitutional
decision of a member has been read to the floor of the House, on the floor of the House, at plenary, it is conclusive evidence that that person has defected. It needs no requirement. The law did not state any requirement anywhere. Our constitution never envisaged any requirement that you must go to your ward and register. Most of us are members. I do not think we have registered ourselves in the law, but we parade the insignias of various political parties. But for a member of the House of Assembly, conclusive proof of defection is that you wrote a letter to the House Speaker, that letter was read at the floor of the House. That is conclusive proof. And how do you do that? Is by having a certified copy of the record of proceedings of that House. Now, the question as to whether or not there was a defection. I had the opportunity of appearing in a program, sister radio station like Wish FM. And the question of whether there was a defection. And I asked, outside of social media, where our input, honorable members, especially the leader, the last speaker talks about honor. Honor is not part of Nigerian traditions, inclusive of ourselves, seated right here. But once we have political actors in the state, we have deleted the word honor in our dictionary. The co-panelists talked about the reasons he left the government. Sir, I am not sure you were truthful to us this evening. I say so because when did Doctor left the government of sin? It was still being rumored that there was a trouble between the former and the president. And so some persons who claim the old all their lives resigned in honor of their fidelity to the person they are following, not because of the reasons my senior has stated here. Now, what is generally the way I can't permit to answer some of the legal issues my learned friends, most of them are raised. But I believe in answering the question that you propose, we'll get to the reasons squarely. What is the way forward? Yes, the law allows for alternative dispute resolution. We have gone far in legal proceedings. We are waiting judgment at the Supreme Court. We are also having issues of defection being trashed out at the Federal High Court for Port Harcourt. But with all these, is there a political solution to it? I say so, yes. But that political solution must be intentional. Remember, there was an intervention by Mr. President. I said the only way out for us to see ourselves as brothers again is please, all the parties go and withdraw your cases. The Almighty celebrated Omotoshon's case that my friends voted by agreed upon by the Court of Appeal was thrown out of the non-adherence to the tenets of peaceful resolution. Because if the Nebulians and go and withdraw their processes, today we will not be talking about Omotoshon's judgment. They will not be talking about the Court of Appeal agreeing to Omotoshon. And that judgment was not decided on them. Let's have it goes. The Court of Appeal never even decided that particular decision on merit. It was based on technicality of having no process before the court. What then will the court will answer your questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, J. Jamal Esquire. Thank you so much for that opinion out there. Well, so far, we've seen a lot of things saying as regards to the various political crisis, the plot, intrigue, actors, and the way forward. Please put your hands together again for our panelists. Put your hands together for them. We have John Obaraji Esquire, Aaron Mekine Esquire, Isaac Gomez, Lagos Power Esquire, David G. Jamala Esquire, as well as Dr. Gibbs Wong. Please put your hands together for them. But what's the highlights of this event today? I'm sure everybody has had their notes and has been waiting for this time. But before we bring in this time, I'd like everyone to know our programs. What television network. We have the blowout, ATM blowouts that airs from 8 a.m. in the morning to 9:25 in the morning. We also have open conversation that talks about politics, and that's the roof, and that is why we are here today. Open conversation. We also have, after open conversation comes transition news. After the transition news, we have Society Watch, by 12. After Society Watch, we have GAF, Government and Politics. That is by 1 to 2. And from 2, we have the International News by 2. And from 2 to 3, we have business. Business news comes up from 2 to 3. And from 3, business news comes up from 3 to 4. And from 4 to 4:55, we have ATM politics. And it's a political show, and that's why we're here. And also, I would like you to put your hands together for the anchor of open conversation. She has put us together as well. She's done so much in supporting this arrangement on open conversation today. She talks about real estate prices, and that is why we're here. Please put together, put your hands together for lead content, Laurentia Shoma. Please put your hands together.
All right, thank you so much, Victor. Thank you. Thank you so much, it has been an insightful time. And we are the segment for questions and answers. If you want to, I will work with you in this segment. So, gentlemen, if you have questions, you have reactions, you have anything you want to say, I will want to see your hands up. All right. Now we will take the question in batches. So we want to use anything. So now Daniel Momo is number 1. Oscar Nyabe, number 2. I'll have Bernard Okine, number 3, and the gentleman in black. So start with Daniel. After that, we'll go to the next batch. Anything I see you. And I see you too. After this batch.
My voice is loud. Good evening, God. My name is Daniel Momo. Mine is not a question but a contribution. And then, the topic is that Rivers political crisis. They said the plot, the intrigues, the actors, and the way forward. Fashola said something at the floor of, I think, the Senate, where he said, may your loyalty never be tested. I think for me, as an individual who has followed events, I think 2 things are clear for me. Is trust and loyalty. The crisis is what the trust and loyalty gave birth to. Something happened to me about 2 weeks ago, and I needed to sort those things out. I was running helter-skelter. I called somebody here. Before now, I had the opportunity to send a message to the minority leader of the House of Rep. He didn't even reply me. But somebody said, send him a message, tell him I asked you to send him that message. And immediately I sent him that message. I said, so person said, I will send you that message. He replied me. So what am I trying to bring up? Somebody will have to break those canals for you. We must ask ourselves in a crisis like this, where we want adults in the room, ask ourselves, in 2023, would Fubara ever dream to become governor? Ever. In the actors in River State. Somebody paved the way, somebody cleared something for you. And we must. That's why this man, Fashola, said, may your loyalty never be tested. And we must know these things. It's not whether the crisis for or against Wike or no, I'm not interested. I had the privilege to be in Edo State because I'm from Edo State. And I went to join a political party in Edo State. My uncle in Momo, the Momo's family, took my hand and we went into a meeting I'm telling you, if I start from my word, I would never have the opportunity to get to that place. People would hold your hand. People will open door for you in life. People will refer you somewhere. And it's a fact of life. And we must know that. And so when we pay back with ungratefulness, the crisis in PDP will stop. It is the crisis in PDP that you see the crisis in Rivers State that's manifesting in PDP. I'm telling you a fact here that yes, we wish that political resolutions will come. But unfortunately, if you have lawyers like this, I'm telling you, maybe we will now start going back to the village square meeting where we have resolutions. Imagine, look at Osun State, for example. You still have a case in court. You are a party in court. You are conducting elections. And then the lawyers come to tell you at night that certain things are correct. And so for me, is the trust and loyalty. In life, we are young men. People will have to open doors for us. How do we pay back? My mother said something last week, that when somebody do you a favor, you know there are people who do a favor, I say, oh, Daddy, don't worry. My mother said, insist and say thank you. Even if he tells you don't worry, insist and say thank you. And so for me, the two things in the crisis in Rivers State is trust and loyalty. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I always sincerely stand on the system to come. My name is Robin Senior Hospital, and I represent South Youth Initiative as the national president. I want to sincerely say that we are having a very serious challenge in our country. And I don't know if the problem is coming from the Constitution or our lawyers. I don't know where it's coming from, either the Constitution or the lawyers. Because I also was meant to understand there are still moral justification in situations that are clear. If I should recap from what the last speaker just said, there is no one of us here that has never been helped by somebody. There is no one of us that has never been helped by somebody. If you help a person, must you detect how he eats his food? You help me to eat it, you help me to get a food. So you be the one to decide how I eat the food. You don't give me or allow me to have freedom on how to eat the food you help me to get. You help me get the food. You are the one deciding how I eat the food. Who has never been helped? The previous administration was helped by somebody. I want to say that it's either our Constitution or our lawyers that are making our youth to lack role models. It's either the Constitution or our lawyers. Because it is clear that some group of mature adults, some group of men, matured men, came out and flagged, I'm not a lawyer, I'm just a layman, came out and flagged a flag of NPC, and they were PDP members or lawmakers in Rivers State. Flag NPC flag, which I saw, and they later end up to say they never defected in the court of law. What morals are you teaching me, the youth? What morals are you teaching the youth about generation? What are you teaching us? What are you teaching the youth of this generation? And they will use some quotations in law, sections and pages in the Constitution to defend any moral act. Now today you come out and say that you never defected. When I watch you defect, when I watch you say that you're no longer comfortable in PDP, when I watch you say that you are leaving PDP to NPC, and I watched you. And then today you say you never defected. I am very angry because it is abuse of morality. It's abuse because it's actually bringing down morals in our youth. And that's why our youth are misbehaving today because of such a moral justification being said by the court. Now you said somebody helps you. You helped me to be a governor. Before you became a governor, nobody helped you to become a governor. Did you jump to be a governor of Rivers State? Where you jumping from governor to become governor of Rivers State? If you said that as a former governor of Rivers State, I am a youth, and I remember that the previous administration promised us 5,000 job opportunities, and we never see 1,000, or neither do we see 100. I also remember that my father is a pensioner. I also remember how my father was crying to get pension paid. I also remember that I have a brother that was supposed to pay gratuity. I also remember he wasn't paying gratuity. I also remember, excuse me, I also
was doing practically well. Until yesterday, second general came up and then made the second general unbearable for the vast people. We know what we are deprived because within his first tenure, we are aware about programs, skill programs, scholarship programs, and other things that we are benefiting from. But because of the political crisis, we never have a situation that will be like the first center. Excuse me for visiting. Now, as we speak right now, we must go straight and tell what do we say? That Sayeso Wike should be told the truth that he is a lawyer and a bencher. So if actually we want to have peace in Rivers State, Rivers will need peace in Rivers State. And we must enjoy that peace when we deserve in Rivers State. Now, for those of us that said that you were defected, I want to ask my father, my elder brother, and my brother, the doctor. When you left Rivers State government, before now, was there any commissioner that was able to question ways of wicked? Do we have a commissioner in Rivers State? Or a commissioner that will be able to stand up and question the former administrators? We are able to stand up to question the previous administration on what was going on. I think it is time to tell ourselves the truth because we must come back as youth to say enough is enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ben Abodike, and by the grace of God, special assistant to the governor. I will first of all start by reacting to Dr. Giftward because he said he's challenging anybody to challenge him. So one of the panelists there has challenged him, and I want to also challenge him. Sir, you didn't leave the administration of because you are a man of integrity. No, you left because we can ask you to leave, sir. Now, I want to start from there. You are talking about solution to the problem in Rivers State. Like the last man spoke, when Amechi was governor, because of his interest, he was the chief of staff, right? Because of his interest, I think Amechi gave him a whole lot of power to play around him. He made so much money. And if we even begin to investigate how they make their money, some of these people shouldn't even be talking in the public. He became so powerful and he ran things until maybe perhaps Amechi found out that there was need to excuse him from the state. And perhaps whatever happened when he left him for ministerial position in the second term. And he went there, saw an opportunity and opening. Ordinarily, another equating man shouldn't have succeeded Amechi. But because something happened, I am not the support of Amechi. I am not. I saw Wike as someone who was trying to also liberate Rivers State from the grip of Amechi where Amechi was driving us to. And I supported him on that ground. And I believe it. I am a very strong social media person. I have fought wars in the social media against people, many enemies, abused for his sake. Now we believe in that we are fighting for the emancipation of Rivers State and that we are going somewhere. And ultimately, I believe that he was trying to bring Rivers State where we will not only consolidate in getting control of our state, but where we will also get to the center and get connected back to the center and have things working for us. And we are right there in 2023. Yes, like somebody said, that the man who talked about trust and reality, he has gone out after he made his point. What is trust and reality? Wike told us, and we had him, and I believe him, that he will not interfere. He will not even impose. Look, he didn't do it alone. We all did it with him. We supported him. And the last election, when he said, vote for Tinubu, I delivered Tinubu in my place. I delivered, yes. We delivered. We did. Not that we did not the election. We convinced our people and we voted for Tinubu. But I don't think he delivered his own polling units. Neither did he deliver his word nor LGA from what we had that happened. That brings me to the point where, like I'm talking about when I started with the Dr. Giftward, until we extricate ourselves from this mentality of making gods of men. You know, because a case where a man now feels that he owes Rivers State, Rivers State belongs to all of us. Me as a person, I have never seen anybody as superior to me in the affairs of the state, in the nation. The only thing that is missing us is that you have an opportunity at time that you are there. Time and chance, someday, sometime, I may also be there. You get it? So nobody personally owns the state. People should stop playing God. Former Governor Wike told us that he will not interfere with whatever happens when Kubara or whoever succeeds becomes governor. But did we get that? Like somebody said agreement. He talked about agreement. What agreement? Can anybody come out and tell us what the agreement was that Governor Kubara is preaching? Look, it will take us to the history of River State. At the question of River State, they just were dominant. The greatest crime marginalization as a state command. They just went sway, if not to the question of the state of Bayelsa State in 1996, the President may not have had his way to the government house. They would have had sway. But thank God 1996, Bayelsa was created. A tribe like Iberi became like a dominant tribe. Upland had an upper hand. I don't want to go into what happened prior to 1999 that threw up all the name. Some people will say, oh, those men wanted to be fair. No, they didn't want to be fair. They saw it as an opportunity to grab power through the back door. And they made us the governor. And this I would say who was like a frontliner to be. And the rest is history. So many things he wants to control. Former Governor Wike has finished his term, 8 years term as a governor of River State. Like he swore that he will not interfere. Let him allow River State to move on. The state has made him. The state and even the PDP today that is in crisis had made him. What was his business? How did he make his money? He had to begin to ask. Somebody wants somebody to be subjugated to him. Did he produce Kubara as governor? Yes, he played a major role. But he needed people to make it happen. We would have had those that made it happen. It's a slap on me for somebody to think that he did it alone. We all did it together. He didn't do it alone. So please, the way forward is that people should stop playing God. Like I didn't want to go into some other arguments that were raised there because the last lawyer that stood here addressed a whole lot of legal argument and all the rest. There's no going into it, but one thing I want to say. Because when this crisis started, at the point, I used to say in the chamber there, Governor Kubura said that it is a matter between father and son. And I knew what was happening. The man did not create the problem. Our brother Wike created all the problem. He should take away his hand. If he decides to stay, let it be. It will be. The man who defected, like I had to go and bring up the video. We are a judge who was the German House Committee on Information when he appeared on Channel Television. A kind of arguing and supporting the reasons for their detention, or based on the issue of argument about secretary at the national level and all the rest. And that they have associated themselves in the new group agenda of the president. And whoever agrees to that, they have moved to APC. They defected. It's not defected. They defected. If you go to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 66, subsection 2, I think one of the source there, talk about unsound mind. But this men are coming to tell us that they are men of unsound mind. That will make a decision in the morning, and then in the afternoon they are counting what they decided that was publicly seen, and they are telling us today that it was AI generated video. God have fire Satan. AI generated video where these are men who took decisions for themselves, and they decided and moved. They defected. Now why did they turn around to say they did not defect? They defected, and the Constitution has captured and enunciated thereby. Lawyers who are saying the truth. Section 109, 1G, and 2 is very clear. They defected. And you don't need the court to say you have defected. The speaker is one who will tell you, having defected, you have vacated your seat. And that's the truth. And that's where we are. So move forward, let them come back and agree that yes, we made a mistake. We are sorry we made a mistake. Let them come to us as River State, we made a mistake. We want to continue. Then it is not there for us to say, okay, you can continue or you should not continue. Are you understanding me? Then from there we can move forward. But let me tell you, those men, by the grace of God, are not fit, are not qualified to continue as members of the River State Assembly because they have shown themselves to be incompetent and lack integrity. They cannot. They cannot. Thank you very much.
Town hall meeting, like I said earlier when I was giving my speech, is to chart a way forward. And in doing that, I will implore us to be mindful of certain language that we use. Because you can't be talking reconciliation and you can't be speaking of a way forward and you by certain language. There are things we can't do because of MDC. I will implore us to please, be sensitive to certain use of words. Thank you very much. You may go ahead.
Opportunity to hear our view. A lot has been said about gratitude. I grew up in a home where gratitude was preached, and it's very fantastic. How to quarrel with gratitude. But can we ask ourselves, what is the morality of gratitude? How far can we go to the altar of gratitude? What do we sacrifice at the altar of gratitude? Let me pick our conscience with this question. If we hear a story of somebody helping somebody get an employment, and now I am assuming a fantastic employment with good pay. After that employment, the guy who helps get the employment, let's say the people of the opposite sex are involved, and say, okay, since I helped you get this employment, show gratitude to me. And gratitude is, let's go to bed. How many of us would tell that lady that I will show gratitude now, this is gratitude? How many of us would applaud a person who demands gratitude for a person he helped get from a person he helped get a favor, and that gratitude is help me to steal something from you, I did this thing for you, so I have gratitude, give me the head of the parties on the platter. How many of us would applaud that? Gratitude is good, but when Mr. Bosman spoke, he talked about acting within the parameters of God. So we should also encourage ourselves. When we are talking about gratitude, those who demand for gratitude and those who would give gratitude should please do it within the parameters of the law. In the order for gratitude, you can't ask people to do something out of what, and that's also bringing to mind. If somebody is going to help you, I think it's even better we get it clear. What are you going to demand from me? So you cannot say, oh, gratitude, then you become a slave. The essence of governance is like somebody who gets what? Because I helped you, then I am the only one who gets everything. That cannot be gratitude. Then, another person says, oh, let's tell ourselves the truth. We have a quarrel with truth in this country. How objective is our truth? Everybody tells truth to what it seems to be the truth without listening objectively. If we really tell ourselves objective truth, we won't be here. We won't be talking about gratitude. We won't be talking about ingratitude. What we'll be talking about is what benefits the people. What does the people say? And we should, as a people, also encourage ourselves to move away from this. I have to become governor. It's a democracy. Nobody should help anybody become governor or any other position. We should. We can't like the fact that somebody can pick on somebody. I think you can do it. Let's go run for this position. But the situation here, I solely claim that I helped anybody become anything. That's like playing God. And I think these are the things we should be asking people. If we help this guy become this, how did you do it? Then I also put someone talk about going back to the place. See, we won't be telling ourselves the truth if we think the solution is where anything happen. No, in the village system they have their laws, they may not be conventional laws. So please, in the zone
we should ask ourselves, when people take up positions, when you are offered a help, like let's say in the past, somebody wanted to help you escape from prison, but he refused that offer because escaping from prison will expose the limitations of society. So we cannot expose ourselves every time to abuse in the name of politics. Here is the morality in all that. We talk about the legal. See, if we don't want our institutions to become jokes, we can't have a situation politics against ourselves. That is not taking us anywhere. Thank you.
That a lot of persons still have a lot to say. However, at this juncture, we will entertain questions. Questions, please. We will entertain questions. So, you have something to say? You have a question? On purple. Hold on, let me watch. I have not come to you. Hold on. Hold on. He has something to say, not a question, but he can say what he wants to say after the question session, right? And then the man on the culture topic.
Good day, everyone. Hello.
Thank you. My name remains Rebecca Ezekiel, National Coordinator for Green Science. I'm here to ask a very I put this one goes to the former Commissioner Dr. Lulu. So, if I want to confirm and to give us clarity, what happened during the president's stakeholder meeting that they all agreed to go home and restore peace back to the people, because the issues that was on them were like the fire. Now the president intervened to see that the situation was brought to book. Everybody left and go back, hoping that there is a solution, because the president has said this. Now, all the conditions given to Governor of River State, Governor fulfilled all. Returning all the commissioners, removed all the cases that was in the court, all other matters that pertaining crisis in River State were resolved by the governor. Why is it that the other faction of Yesuwike, the former governor of River State, did not honor his own side of it?
All right, so I think we have it.
I think we need to move on from there, because this is where all the issues is coming from the process. So thank you very much. That's my question.
Frank.
Thank you very much for that question. Before I answer that question, let me say to us here that when I was talking before, I tried as much as possible to avoid accusing anybody of anything. I did that on purpose because I consider this kind of discussion as something we should have very often. And I don't want anybody to go with the impression that we are here one against another. But the way some people are talking is not helping us. such that maybe when this meeting is, if this meeting is reconvened tomorrow, some people may not come. Because if it is to come and tell you that Wike is an angel and Fubara is a devil, or that Fubara is an angel and Wike is a devil, I will not be part of that kind of discussion. Because your devil can be my angel, and my angel can be your devil. See, when I talked about honor, and I also talked about gratitude or ingratitude, I told you I absorbed the government when I talked about ingratitude. If you listen to me carefully, I said that ingratitude did not start with Fubara. Did I say so? I said so. So that in saying so, I already absorbed him. It doesn't matter what opinion I hold about him outside here, but we did discussion. You can't say that I said that Fubara exhibited ingratitude. That is not to say that I cannot go out of this place now and say it. And I talked about honor. My brother there talked about if somebody did something for you and you now ask for something, what will you do? The person is asking for what you cannot do. No, there's nothing like that. At that level, if society was the same, a certain king in the Bible was going to war, and he said to the daughter, if I go to this war and I win, when I come back, whatever you ask for, I will give to you. When he came back, he said, my daughter, I've gone to war, I've won. Ask me whatever you want. The daughter said, I want the head of John the Baptist. Did John the Baptist not die? Did he not die? Did the man not kill John the Baptist? No, I'm asking you, did the man did the daughter the head of John the Baptist or not? That is what honor. That is what honor speaks to, whether you like it or not. Now, on the issue of what happened in Abuja and so on and so forth, let me say to us, I hope we are listening. I want to say to us that when you have a problem, focus on the cause of the problem. Don't discuss the symptoms. No matter how you deal with the symptoms, the problem is not going to go away until you address the cause of the problem. And I told them that the problem we have is a cultural problem in politics. That's my position. So going to court, going to president to settle, coming back, agreeing or not agreeing, and this and that is because what? You have a crisis. Focus on that crisis and don't tell me about what happened when they were not paying gratuity and how the commission project that they did to you. That is not what we are discussing here now. Because even this present government, he has also promised employment that he has not given to people. Maybe he will give, but can any government really employ every vice person? The answer is no. So let's not pander to those what I would call mundane issues. They are mundane issues. If we want to talk as a family, as people who have a common problem, which is that our state, as we speak today, has no clear blueprint of where we want to go. We have continued to place second fiddle to Lagos. We have a problem of insecurity. Our schools I don't know how many of us find time to go to places, even to places where we school, to see what is going on in those places. Our hospitals are not working. Brothers are killing their brothers every day. Those are issues that we have, that a government that is stable and focused will give to us. Unfortunately, we don't have that focus and stability. And that is why we're here. So if you want to blame somebody, that's your business. I'm not here to blame anybody. I'm here to speak to issues that will help us move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hold on. before we take more questions, I have to ask some questions, and probably this will set the tone to the trajectory, or it will be a kind of questions that I feel are pressing that we need to ask to answer certain questions that are bothering people. Now, Mr. Jamala, when you were making your presentation, you said something with regards to the matters in court and what has transpired so far with the House of Assembly. And if I may quote you, you said the matter of defection has not been addressed by the court. And secondly, you said that the Speaker is empowered by the Constitution to declare seats vacant. Now, this is my question to you, Barrister Jamala. You recall that, yes, Edis Nehim was the president to a large extent, that I recall that, said that the seats of the lawmakers have been declared vacant. Now, the question would be, is Edis Nehim actually the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly? That's the first question. Because, hold on, you will not lose your words. I can assure you. Because last time I checked, up until now, there is no court judgment or order saying otherwise, giving legality to Edis Nehim as the Speaker. And if there is no court judgment empowering Edis Nehim to be the Speaker, the things he has done and said, are they valid? That's number one. Now, second, or answer this one again, I'll ask the next one.
Thank you very much, Madam Ahmed. I will answer you very simply. I said the suit initiated by Amelia and Co. sometimes in November 29th at Abuja predates their defection. Therefore, the issue of defection was never decided by that court. Now, on December 11th, when these said friends decided to move the other way, there was a vacuum of leadership. Now, Section 109, subsection 2, talks about the Speaker declaring the seats vacant. Now, the section never contemplates a situation where the Speaker himself will defect. Now, it happens in our own time that the sitting Speaker, amongst others, defected, and therefore refused to evoke Section 109 sub 2. Now, Section 109 sub 1G is automatic. It is because we lack men of honor that when we do something wrong, a thief will come to your house and steal and say, go and prove it in court. That's exactly what is happening in the Rivers State House of Assembly. It's because we lack men of honor who ordinarily should have vacated the seat, that we are still making allusions to one man as the Speaker. Ordinarily, there are no factions in Rivers State House of Assembly. When this set of friends defected, there remains only 4 valid members, and these 4 valid members elected the Speaker. Now, that Speaker, he was even acting on what we call, it is better to err on the side of surplusage. And so that Speaker activated Section 109 sub 2. He need no court of law to make that pronouncement. And therefore, ordinarily, from December 11th, when these friends left the Harrow Chambers, they ceased to be members of Rivers State House of Assembly. And the only 4 were resigned. So I'm believing that now we have only 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, Barrister Jamala, when you were speaking, you talked about the pre-defection. And this has been a current issue in the Rivers State political conundrum right now. And I want to ask you a direct question with regards to the pre-defection and the post-defection. Now, let's look at the timeline of this case. This case was instituted in November 2023, and the alleged defection happened December 2023. And the judgment by Justice Omotosho came 22nd of January 2024. Now, in between November 2023 and January 2024, the alleged defection has happened. Because I'm trying to understand the sectioning of the pre and the post. Now, if the matter is still in court, and an incident happens that is pivotal to that case, it is expected that counsel, whoever is representing you, brings that to the court and will be adopted. You can correct me, I'm not learned in this instance. Hold on, sir. However, the governor's legal team will between the governor's standard limits. Because in between that time, the defection happened. The lifetime of that matter, that defection, that alleged defection has happened. And it could have been tendered to the court as a reason. But the government or the governor's legal team will review that matter. So in face of this, considering that judgment came after the fact, that judgment came post alleged defection, can you say that the pre-defection argument holds water in this instance? Jamala, after you're done, Dr. Gibbs, you want to react to it, and Barrister Kine, all of you want to react to it very well.
Thank you once again. The issues of law, you do not contemplate a course of action when you are instituting your action. Now, the course of action in the one initiated on November 29th, 2023 was the alleged fear of the House of Assembly members that there is a disagreement between the principal and the governor. Ordinarily, there was no disagreement between the legislature and the executive. It was the carrying out of actions of someone behind the scene that led to these blown out legal issues that we are speaking. Now, sir, it was that fear that, assuming there was never a defection, assuming the House of Assembly is properly constituted, can the governor decide not to deal with the House of Assembly? If you look at the provisions of the Constitution, there are some certain things that the governor, the executive must do in agreement with the House of Assembly, having some areas that require to some functions, and therefore where that is required for the executive must follow. So, be the judgment of assembly, not members whose status are still unknown by virtue of their activities. So, for me, the issue of defection, which happened on the 11th of December, had nothing to do with the issues of law raised on the 29th day of November. Thank you very much.
Let's be clear, that's our goal. Now, I've tried to be restrained when it comes to talking about law. And the reason is simple. Naturally, if a matter is in court, I don't talk about it. Because I know that whatever my opinion will not change anything. We are here shouting at the top of our voices. If tomorrow there's a judgment that says that defection did not happen, or that defection happened, we will live with it. Fine, so let's not bring our head over that. Now, but I want to tell us here that in all of this crisis, there was an incident in which the assembly had suspended anything a year ago before the issue of defection that nobody talks about. Now, yes, it is true. Even I'm not a member of the House, just like you. And the way you heard about defection, you were not there the day it happened. The way you heard about defection is the way we heard that the House suspended anything a year and go. to war. And after killing themselves and all the things that happen in war, they now decide that they want to settle the matter. And they are in a time war like this. It will be wrong for you to come here and be remembering one of your brother who was killed during the war. Because when you do that, you don't want that peace to happen. And that's what we are doing here. Let's forget about our brothers and sisters who were killed during the war. Let's leave those who were raped. Let's leave people who were displaced. Because we are talking about the way forward. And when you're talking about, when you remember your brother who was killed, and I remember my brother who was killed, and those emotions now cloud our judgment, we cannot make headway. So the people who have brought us together are not people who have a mission that out of this discussion something will come out, and perhaps there will be further discussions. And that's why I'm warning that people should be careful how they make definitive statements about this. Let's not worry about that. And let me tell us here as a person. Let me tell us as a person. Maybe we may get a way out of this. Because sometimes I look at what we do and laugh. We may be here now talking, claiming to be right or wrong. Who knows if the former governor or the president or someone are discussing about this. And by tomorrow morning they announce the law that the matter is over. What all this will be that will make it. That's one. Number two, if the court decide one way or the other tomorrow, if it is against the assembly bill, they don't have a choice. If it is against the NDC and the co and the government, they don't have a choice. They have to obey the law. They will obey the law. But what I'm telling us, my own position from beginning up to now and even up to the future, is that to the extent that it's a cultural problem, something happens first time, second time, third time, fourth time, it becomes the way of life of the people. If you don't find a way to stop it, it will continue and infinity. So today we're talking about the present governor and the former. Yesterday we were talking about the former governor and the former former. The other day we were talking about the former governor, the former governor, and the former governor. Down the line. It's true. It's 100% true. I have never seen a time when Odili and other judge we are putting their heads together as former governor and present governor to talk about moving everything forward. I never saw Wike and Amechi sit down to talk about River State. I never saw Amechi and Odili talk about River State. The same way I have not seen Kubara and Wike talk about moving River State forward. And that should be your concern. That is my concern. It's not about who is right or who is wrong. If I want to talk about who is right or who is wrong, I want to even believe that some of you already know my position on some of these things. And perhaps, ordinarily, I shouldn't be a panelist. Ordinarily, I shouldn't be a panelist. But if I'm talking with my brothers, it's a different thing from when I want to play my politics or when I want to see that I'm right. So if you want to see that you are right, that's up to you. Then you don't need to call me. Because you are right, and I'm also right, and I don't need to call you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, mine is always my struggle with each of clarify to the best of my understanding and knowledge Bishop of law. And I still haven't forgotten the question you asked with respect to the decision of just not to show. Yeah, in January 22nd. I've spoken about this a number of times. And then in his position with respect to we're whispering here with respect to suspension. And then listening to people as well as they say this. Number one is it's important as you as people that we really truly understand the background to all of this. Even if I agree with him that we're going to agree to move forward, but if you do not understand the background of certain problems you have, you are just deceiving yourself and wanting to move forward. What happened on the 29th of November 2023? At that time, truly, there was no defection. And I say here clearly, Martin Amewi was the Speaker of the University National Assembly. All 31 of them were members of the University National Assembly. At the 29th of November, so please understand. When you hear those who talk about just a Motoshaw's judgment, don't listen to the half story. Hear another opportunity here to hear from the beginning. On the 29th of November, Martin Amewi as Speaker filed a suit in the Federal High Court in Abuja, presided over by Justice Omotosho. The parties there as claimants were Lagos State House of Assembly, and the second was Martin Amewi. And you will answer yourself, I list out about 17 defendants in that suit. Number one was the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Number two was the Senate President. Three was the Deputy Senate President. Four was the majority leader of the Senate. Five was the minority leader of the Senate. Then the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, the majority leader of the House of Reps, the minority leader of the House of Reps, the clerk of the National Assembly. Then you come down, I think number 11 was the governor of River State. Then again, the Attorney General of River State, the Commissioner for Finance of River State, the River State Civil Service Commission, and then NCA. And I can tell you what is in law and in presidency law, parties are very important, even for the jurisdiction of the court and for everything. Now, Martin Amewi on the 29th of November was worried that there were talks about the National Assembly activating Section 11, subsection 4 of the Constitution to empower the National Assembly to take over the proceedings of the University House of Assembly. And he thought that the governor of River State and the executive were going to call on the National Assembly to come take that proceeding. So that we understand that that was the crux of that matter. It wasn't defection. It wasn't even about the 27th of October 26. There were no parties. It is where all the other cases are about defection. We have the 27th of them instead. So when that matter was already before Justice Motion, I didn't say one thing about the court. No judge answered the opinion that is not before him. It is forbidden for a judge to go on the voice of the sculptor of the white sea, seeking for nothing that is not coming. No judge gives to someone what never asked. So the judge was bound to answer the question that I can read this for this way as well. Number one was that the court should make an order to restrict the National Assembly from taking over the proceedings of the University. How has that come to perfection? So if the matter has ended in the why would we say that God has decided to issue perfection on this?
Only their head.
Even if you went to court by appeal, the decision of the court, you cannot introduce that question that was in the trial also. So there's another show. And again, when that issue is subsequent defection of the letter, you know one thing again, I'll make an analogy. You have a land dispute, okay? Let's say in 1938, there was a land dispute in my area. And then my great-grandfather was the engineer. He was appearing in court with the other two chiefs. In 1951, when they appeared in court, it had to take the other two chiefs to tell the court that they had lied. Otherwise, it was going to go on as it was so that. The same way, every day in court today, if we're going on the matter, a party dies, we inform the court that that party has died, the other party will should have. Or if you're substituting, you do an application for substitution, or you bring in a new party. It is not the judge of the court that stays there and knows what is happening. So when this was filed on the 29th of November, the judge has a question to answer, and those questions are the questions they answer, even if it was in January 2024. So for him, he was blinded to the fact of the 11th of December 2023. Now, when Martin Amewi defected with the orders, allegedly stolen right now, he never went back to the judge because he couldn't have gone straight. Now, it was then that XA applied to join us. And his purpose of joining was to bring this fact to the court that, hey, Mr. Judge, this man about this is no longer the Speaker of the University House of Assembly. I am. And now that application for gender and got its own processes were some of those processes that were withdrawn subsequently when they came out from appeal, including the defense of the governor and all the other members of the university executive were all withdrawn. So the court went on, basically on the prayers of the applicants, and answered. And what were those? Restraining the National Assembly, restraining the governor from withholding their money, these were the prayers. Restraining the University Civil Service Commission from deploying the former clerk and deputy clerk. There was nowhere about the second commandment. And then, after that event, Martin and Miguel, on the 15th or so of December 2023, filed an additional motion of notice in that suit. You know the three prayers, the four prayers they made there, where one would have thought that the issue of the infection of the civil lawmakers would have been brought in. No, it was about the demolition of the University National Assembly. He sought an order of court restraining the university government from demolishing the University National Assembly complex, from preventing them to access the assembly complex, and then from restraining the government from making any requests or nomination before the University National Assembly. And the time we find us, like I said here, everybody would have considered that was speaker. So of course we wouldn't have presented anything to the House of Assembly and wasn't decided over. But fast forward to the level of November, it ceased to be arguably another position of the Constitution. Remember, what we mean was that if the attention of the court was drawn to it, and that's what I say as a student, that where we lost judicial activism in this country during the days of Okuta, they acted as though they were in society. Not just being judges. Do you want to hear what was happening in previous cases? How active were you in applying law and applies justice? Otherwise, you would have asked sometimes judges so much on their own ask certain questions in court. I have been asked as a lawyer. So if a judge had asked Martin Abidon and another day of the proceedings to say, hey, this is what I'm hearing in the university, these are facts that judiciary. And there are even some matters that have been filed in my brother judge's court of the same federal high court. That this is the reality of the present day. I believe that Justice Omotoso would have probably asked that certain processes be filed for him to be able to give a final and definite decision. However, that's the judgment of the court, and that's the wisdom of the court. He never decided, please reverse people, Justice Omotoso never had an opportunity to review or consider. And he never indeed decided anything about the second commandment. I have that judgment, 71-page judgment, most of us about it. I've not read it. The other stuff was started from about page 67 to 41. Even before others, none of it had anything to do with 27 lawmakers. So even if he got to the court of appeal, they couldn't have told otherwise. The court of appeal merely upheld the decision of Justice Omotoso. And then at the Supreme Court, of course, it wasn't even heard. That is the appeal at the Supreme Court that was withdrawn. We should see ourselves as serious. So that's the clarification I want to make.
You said when you talk about protection and you spoke in the line of the manner, is it self-execution?
Yes.
109G, does it have a proviso?
Let's go. Now, the Supreme Court is the giver of life and provisions of the Constitution and the Act of National Assembly or the law. Now, when this is when this matters article 1 of the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court will find out what is interpreting section 109, subsection 1, paragraph G, including the proviso. So the Supreme Court has held to effect that the split rating and the division that was envisaged under the proviso to section 109, subsection 1 paragraph G, the proviso has clearly defined what that division will be and went on with several political decisions, not just the one that were available and the group of all those states assembly, but even before that decision, that when the action, that's why you refer to subsection 2, when the action of moving from the political party that was sponsored to the House, any legislative House, has taken place on the floor of the House, that this has happened. Take the case of Lagos State. Martin and Ogunde has never denied that he didn't need those Lagos State for so let me know when that has taken place. Sorry?
Who determines the veracity of the facts and the evidences?
The veracity of what?
The facts and the evidences. Like
it's in the assembly. It's not false. It's in the assembly. But these things happen, I know what the law again. There is a presumption of validity of proceedings of the legislative house. And they are also expected to be taken judicial notice of. So the proceedings of the University House of Assembly of that day can be you and I, if we are not doing these politics, I can apply for it. And the clerk of the University House of Assembly is under obligation and duty to provide it to me line by line what happened. And especially in this case where I like somebody says or suggesting that look, if we must move forward as leaders, we should be sincere for ourselves and seek for forgiveness in areas that we've gone wrong. Take for instance, if you err, because otherwise I imagine that our brothers thought they were doing right, maybe a political point they were going to score. They were the ones that invited the media. Champions and all sat up on the camera for the proceedings of that day to make the law of the whole thing. And he read that in the letters one after another. And even after that, and traced the press. After that, swore to an affidavit. After that, went on a reception. Are we joking? I know that this platform is not politics, but to strengthen the issue of law and to also be frank to issues that confront us in because like you said, it's becoming a culture, but it's a good culture. It's a bad one. That those of us who are growing and aspiring to be governors tomorrow, aspiring to go to the House of Assembly tomorrow, should we have the things we are condemning today as culture that will internalize? So if we do not stand firmly after the name, political meaning, or interest, or whoever is our father, to say this thing happened and this thing is wrong, and this shouldn't be, then we are joking. As a frontline state, I want to come to us.
After the panelists are done with their reactions, Emmy has something to say because of time, and then the other two gentlemen. Right. Emmy Ferrara, next after the panelists are done.
Sorry, I just want to react to one of them because sometimes when you don't talk, you just have to cleanse some things. My brother here was shouting and was pointing and accusing me. My father was pointing at him. I'll tell you why. I said 4. He said personal interest. And when he was attacking the former governor on personal interest ground, he mentioned his father. What are you trying to tell me? So you don't wait, I have this one. So it was on personal ground, or that is what incentivized you to speak that this the former government was because mention your father, you mentioned your cousin, you mentioned a friend or so of Titi and so on. So you are by accusing the former government, you have indicted yourself. No, we should be honest. This is your want to be honest. You are claiming to be honest. You are claiming to accuse somebody for employing someone, and you say this because of his personal interest. Meanwhile, you accuse your father as an instance to say if they repay gratuity, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Even my brother that is saying this. He also made a statement. And the funny thing is that when you're on the side, you feel that every other person is wrong. You feel that every other person is saying what does not make sense. You say the governor, former governor, is acting like a god. That was your statement. But you was God to you when you voted him. Because you say convince you. You voted people, you said it here. That means he was God to you, not you. My brother of baptism. That means he was God to you. And what would you realize that it should be God to you? So you see, one thing I have to bring up, I'm going to where it is coming from. That if we should follow who is right and who is wrong, there will be nobody that is right and there will be nobody that is wrong. Because you said that he even asked if he delivered his word because he said we should vote Tinubu and we voted Tinubu and we delivered Tinubu. So
Oscar, please have your seat. Please have your seat. Thank you, please have.
Just no, I'm not sure. No, what would be the thing? No, wait.